Assalamu alaikum students, and welcome you all in our online classes. I'm your English teacher Saira, and today we are going to start lesson 9, that is all is not lost. This is part 1 of lesson 9, and in this part we will read the following topics. First, the introduction of this topic and the learning outcomes. Please watch this video carefully because at the end of every topic there is a quiz for you to test your understanding. Let me introduce our topic first. All is not lost is basically a phrase. And to understand the meaning of this phrase, let us focus on the word lost first. What does the word lost means? The word lost means to stop having something, destroy it, or to not win. So from the above explanation, we may deduce that the phrase all is not lost means when a situation is not good, but there is still a chance of success. We can also use this phrase in a sentence to understand it more properly. Look at the following sentence. I know things look grim, but all is not lost. Here the word grim means miserable. It means I know the situation is miserable, but there is still a chance to overcome this situation. I hope from the above explanation, definition, and the example given to you, you have understood the introduction clearly. Now let me see how well can you explain by seeing the title and the illustration given to you in the form of picture. Take out your books and open your books to lesson 9. See the title given and the illustration in the form of picture and tell me what do you think what will be the lesson about. You have 1 minute to complete this activity, or you can simply pause this video and once you are done with it, you can start from the same point. So your time starts now. You can see this question on your screen. I hope you are done with your answers. If you see the picture, there is a nurse who is treating a patient. So from the explanation of the title and the picture, in my opinion, this lesson might be about a nurse or any person who works consistently and dedicatedly, and at the end he achieves his goals without losing hope. Your answers may vary from this one, but if you got the right concept, it means you have done this part successfully. Now let us move to the next part, that is learning outcomes. We will discuss all the learning outcomes one by one in detail. Our first learning outcome is scan the text to look for the contextual meanings. What is scanning? Scanning and skimming are two reading techniques where we use rapid eye movement and quickly read the text for different purposes. Let us discuss skimming first. What is skimming? Skimming is reading at one's fastest speed, and it is done for obtaining the more important information in a selection to get a complete and detailed overview of it. Here the word overview is very important. When we do skimming when we need to read the text in a hurry. For example, if one of our friend is reading a newspaper and we request him to give us the newspaper only for 5 minutes to read, what will we do? Will we start reading it thoroughly? Definitely not. We will only read the headlines of the news to get the overview, whatever is written in this. Skimming is also done when a higher degree of comprehension is not required. For example, when we do not need to look for specific answers. Rather, we only need a general information. For instance, when we go to a library, We do not go through each and every book present in the library. Rather, we read the titles and the overviews given in these books and we get the required one. What is the best way to do skimming? The best way to do skimming is to read the titles and the illustrations given. These illustrations can be in the form of pictures or any additional information given on the side of the text or any number or any name. Another way to do skimming is to read only the first and last line of the paragraph. Thus, skimming is quickly going through any text to get the general overview of the material. I hope you understood this concept. Now look at the text given. You can also open your books and look at each paragraph given in lesson 9 one by one. Read only the first and last line of each paragraph of this lesson. Your time starts now. You can also simply pause the video, and once you're done, you can start from the same point. Now you are done with skimming, and in this way you know what is the lesson about. So we know that this lesson is about a nurse who works very dedicatedly and she achieves her goals at the end. So what is scanning then? Scanning is also a reading technique where we read every part of the text until we find what we are looking for. I mean the specific information. Here the word specific information needs to be focused more. Take an example. When we go to an airport, why we go through body scanning? Any idea? Yes, so that they can know if we are not carrying any kind of illegal material or weapon. The machine examines us to find the specific items that are not allowed to carry with us. Take another example. If someone tells us that our population growth is increasing 1.5% per year, what will we do? We will quickly take out the material or the book that we have on population growth, and we'll quickly read each word of that text until we find the specific information that we are looking for, the population rate. Thus, scanning is quickly going through any text to find the specific information. Now look at the first paragraph given in your books of lesson 9 and read this paragraph quickly and underline all the possible difficult words written in it. Great, you have successfully scanned the first paragraph and you looked for the specific information that I told you to search for. Now move to our second learning outcome. Our second learning outcome is rules of changing narration of simple statement. There are two ways what someone else has said in the past. Read the following example. She said, "I like clouds in the sky." In this example, I quoted the same exact words. So this kind of speech will be called a direct speech. But it is not necessary to repeat the same exact words every time because words are not important. What is important is the message. So we can say she said that she liked clouds in the sky. Here I haven't repeated the same exact words, and this type of speech will be called an indirect speech where I haven't quoted or repeated the same exact words. Look at this example again. She said, "I like clouds in the sky." In this sentence, we can see two parts. First part is she said. She said is the reporting speech. Reporting speech is one which reports something. The second part, "I like clouds in the sky," is the reported speech, and reported speech is always written in quotation marks. Since we know what is a reporting speech, so let us discuss how to change a direct speech into an indirect speech. If the reporting speech, the tense of the reporting speech is in past tense, like in the previous example that we have discussed, in reporting speech we used past tense, she said. So we have to keep in mind the following points to change the speech of that kind of sentence. First point is use conjunction that after the reporting speech. After using the conjunction that, we have to omit the quotation marks and change the pronoun. First and second person pronoun changes into their third person pronoun. After changing the pronoun, we backshift the tense, and that is the most important point. How we backshift a tense? Keep the following points in your mind when you backshift a tense. If you see present tense, simple present tense in the reported speech of the sentence, you have to change it into simple past tense. In the same way, present continuous changes into past continuous, present perfect changes into past perfect, present perfect continuous changes into past perfect continuous. So all the present tenses changes into their past tenses. Simple past changes into past perfect, past continuous changes into past perfect continuous, past perfect remains the same, and in future tense the verb will changes into would. After backshifting the tense, we change the time and place expression if it is used in the sentence. For example, this changes into that, here changes into there, today, that day, yesterday, the previous day or the day before, ago, before, now, then, thus, so, tomorrow, the next day, and last night changes into the night before. Now look at the following example to understand it more properly. She said, I have a dental appointment this evening. In this sentence, in reporting speech, we used past tense, she said. So we can change this sentence into indirect speech. After the reporting speech, she said, we will use first, according to rules, we will use first the conjunction that. So we will say, she said that. After using the conjunction that, we will omit the quotation marks and will change the pronoun. We have, since first pronoun I is used here, this first pronoun will be changed into the third person. That is according to the subject of the reporting speech, she. So we will say, she said that she. After this, we have to backshift the tense. Recall the points that I told you, what you have to do when you have to backshift the tense. Look at the tense, which tense is used here. We have used have, that is the simple present tense. So we know we have to change simple present tense into simple past tense. It will be then, she said that she had. Instead of have, we will use had. She said that she had a dental appointment. And the last point was, if there is any place or time expression used, then we have to change it also. In this sentence, a time expression is used here, this evening. This evening changes into that evening. So the sentence will be, she said that she had a dental appointment that evening. So you see how easily we changed a direct speech into an indirect speech. I have a few examples for you to practice. Look at these examples and try to practice it by yourself. You can pause this video, and once you are done with it, you can play from the same point. I hope you are done with the sentences. Now let us have a quick overview of what we have read till now. First, we learned what does the phrase all is not lost means. The phrase all is not lost means when a situation is not good, but there is still a chance of success. Then we read about skimming and scanning. Skimming and scanning are basically two reading techniques. These in skimming, we quickly go through the text to get the general information, but in scanning we quickly go through the text to get the specific information. So the difference between skimming and scanning is that skimming is done to get the general overview and scanning is done to get the specific information. Then we read about the rules of changing the narration of a simple statement. And in changing the narration of a simple statement, most important point was to backshift the tense. So how we will backshift a tense? Read it again. All the present tenses will be changed into their past tense. Simple past changes into past perfect. Past continuous into past perfect continuous. Past perfect remains same, and in future tense the verb will changes into would. We have learned what is the topic about, the introduction of this topic, and also the first two learning outcomes, that were to scan the text to look for the contextual meaning. The second learning outcome was know the rules of changing narration of a simple statement. Now we will read each paragraph of the lesson, and one by one we will scan it to look for all the difficult words, and after finding all the difficult words we will have a close reading and we will discuss what these words mean. Look at the first paragraph. Quickly read the first paragraph and underline the words that I'll tell you. ICU, that is the first word. Second word is neurology ward. Our third word is professional. Fourth word, excited. Fifth word is devastating. Sixth word is pained. Seventh word is to nurse. Eighth word is acute. And the last word is neurological disorder. Let us discuss the meanings of these words one by one. You can write down these the meanings of these words in your notebooks or directly on your books. Or if you think I'm going too fast, you have the option to pause your video and then you can start from the same point. First word was ICU. ICU is a special department of a hospital where patients who are seriously ill are kept. Second word was neurology ward. Neurology ward is the ward that specializes in the diagnosis and treatment of nervous system. Nervous system is basically it concerns with brain, spinal cord and the nerves. Third word was professional. Professional means having an advanced degree or other certification in any specific particular field. Excited means very enthusiastic. Devastating means highly destructive or damaging. Pained means hurt. To nurse means to take care or help. Acute means severe, critical or drastic. Neurological disorder means any disorder in the nervous system. Nervous system is again your brain, and it can also be the spinal cord or the nerve. What is a spinal cord? Spinal cord is the long bundle of nerves and cells that extends from the lower portion of the brain to the lower back. And what are the nerves? Nerves are basically bundles of fibers in the body that transmits impulses of sensation to the brain or spinal cord. Okay, we have scanned the first paragraph and looked for all the difficult words. Then we have a close reading and knew what these words, what is the contextual meaning of these words. Now let us discuss what is discussed in this paragraph. We learned that the lesson is about a nurse, Hira. She is a young professional and is very dedicated towards her profession. She becomes very happy when she sees patients recovering, but at the same time it is very painful for her when she sees patients with drastic neurological disorders. Now move to the second paragraph, and in the same way we will scan this paragraph also and underline all the difficult words. First word in this paragraph is wondered. Second word is in vain. Third is activate. Fourth is nearly dead. And the last word of this paragraph is perhaps. Now we will have a close reading to know the meanings of these words. First word was wondered. Wondered means doubted. In vain means useless. Activate means make something active or operative or to work again. Nearly dead means almost dead. And perhaps means maybe. One day Hira was standing beside a young patient. She was hit by a speeding bus while crossing the road and had received severe head and spinal injuries. Hira doubted if that patient could have recovery as all the other patients do. She tried to do several exercises on her, but all in vain. Then she asked her sister to come and talk to her because she thought this could activate her nearly dead neurons. She further explained that the patient could see but couldn't talk. So Hira could read her mind, was able to read her mind through her eyes. She felt as if she was requesting her to help her. Now read the next paragraph from number 3 and scan it to look for the difficult words. Our first phrase is, that is an idiom basically, fighting a lost battle. Second word is shocked. Third word is colleague. Fourth word is ensure. Fifth word is meanwhile. You can pause the video if you think I'm going too fast. You have the option to pause the video. Our next word is ironic. And then the last word is recruit. Now let us discuss the meanings of these words one by one. Let us have a close reading. Fighting a lost battle. It means to try hard to do something when there is no chance that you will succeed. The word shocked means surprised. Colleague is a person with whom one works in a profession or business. Ensure means to make sure. Meanwhile means in the meantime or during. Ironic means sarcastic, stinging or mocking. Recruit means to enlist, to enroll or to hire. Now a fellow nurse named Rahila came to Hira and asked her what she was doing. She and also said her that she was fighting a lost battle. Such a hopeless remark made by her own fellow made her very shocked because, according to their profession, it was their duty. Even if the case is hopeless, you have to help the patient. So she replied her fellow nurse that she was trying to do several exercises on that patient. At the same time, a senior doctor also came into the ward, and he also passed a sarcastic smile on Hira and said her that if she would spend that much time on a hopeless case, they have to hire more nurses to look for the other patients. Look at paragraph number 4 and 5 now to scan all the difficult words. First word in paragraph number 4 is unattended. Second word is suffered. That is the last word of this paragraph. Now look at the next paragraph. First word in the next paragraph, paragraph number 5, is utter surprise. Then the next word is general ward. Our next word is spared. Next is a phrase, made up my mind. And the last word is to risk. Now look at the meanings of these words. Unattended means not dealt with or to leave her on according to the context. Suffered means undergone or went through. Utter surprise means a complete shock or complete surprise. General ward means general ward is basically a common unit where patients who are admitted share the same room. Spared here according to the context means to give. The phrase made up my mind means to make a decision about something. To risk means a situation involving exposure to danger. Now Hira was very upset, but she also didn't want to leave the patient on her own because she felt that every patient needed to be given a chance, even if it is a hopeless case. So she went to the senior nurse and requested her to allow her to take care of the nurse and to look her more closely. The senior nurse became very surprised and told Hira that she had orders from the doctor in charge that they have to shift that patient to the general ward so they can spare this bed for the next patients. This made Hira more upset, but she decided to take risk and she went to the doctors and requested them to allow her to take care of that patient, and somehow she was able to make the patient stay in the same in the ICU. Now look at the next paragraph, paragraph number 6. First word in this paragraph is miserable. Second word is justify. Third word is stance. Next word is patience. Gradually. And then the last word is thrilled. Now let us discuss the meanings of these words. The first word, miserable, means a state of being in a pitiable state. Justify means show or prove to be right. Stance means opinion. Patience means tolerance. Gradually means slowly. and thrilled means excited, pleased or happy. Now Hira continued working on her patient, but in the beginning she was also helpless, but she didn't lose hope. She continued working on her patient, and gradually her patient also started to recover, and one day she became very happy when she saw her patient lifting her finger, and at that time she felt that all was not lost. Now look at paragraph number 7 and 8 and scan all the difficult words. First word is possible attempts. Second is good hands. Third is froze to the ground. Fourth is courage. Fifth is gentle pat. Sixth is popping in. And the last word is crippled. Let us discuss the meanings of these words one by one. Possible attempts means to try as many times as one can. Good hands means safe hand. Froze to the ground means motionless. Courage means strength. Gentle pat means to strike lightly with something. Here in this case with palm. Popping in means appearing. Crippled means unable to walk or move properly. Now Hira was sent to Karachi for 3 months training. She tried her best to hand over her patient in safe hands. When she come back after 3 months, she became very shocked when she saw that her patient's bed was taken by another patient. In the same time, when she was thinking, she felt a gentle pat on her back. When she turned back, she saw a young lady standing who was seeing at her with a great smile. She hugged her and she thanked her whatever Hira had done for her. She also was very thankful that she didn't allow them to lead her a crippled life. Now move to paragraph number 9 and 10. This is probably the last paragraph of this lesson. First word in paragraph 9 is stood still. Our next word is recognize. Third word is crutches. Fourth is glad. Next word is bore fruit. Paragraph 9, first word considerable. Then there is a word humbled. Next word is gratitude. And the last word is renewed. Let us discuss the meanings now. Stood means still or motionless. Recognize means identify. Crutches means a long stick with a crosspiece at the top used as a support under the armpit by a lame person. Glad means happy. Bore fruit means to produce successful results. Considerable means worth having or strong. Humbled means to feel proud. Gratitude means the quality of being thankful. Renewed means return to or to start again. Now Hira stood still until the patient's family came with big smiles on their faces. So Hira couldn't recognize her patient as it was the first time she was seeing her patient without the machine and the tubes all over her body. But she was very pleased when she saw her patient standing on her own feet. She was very thankful to Allah that He helped him during this journey. Because without the help of Allah, nothing could be possible. Although she was on crutches now, but after a few months she would leave this. Hira and the patient's family were now entered in a considerable bond of friendship, and the patient's family was very thankful to Hira, and Hira was also very happy when she saw them happy and when she saw them thankful towards her. She also felt very proud to be a nurse, and she also learned a lesson that where there is a will, there is a way. Means when anybody wants to do something, he is willing to do something, you can find ways to achieve your goals. Now let us discuss the theme of this lesson, the central idea that what we have read in this lesson. This lesson is basically about the profession of nurse that is usually underrated, but there is no such profession in the world that is worthless. This lesson highlights the importance of nursing profession. In this lesson we learned that how a nurse dedicatedly works and takes her profession seriously and was able to make her patient recover from a deadly disease.